So what we wanted to create, we'll create one more collection called M01. Okay, seems like created. Where it is gone?
Last.
Shall we create a collection called users? Okay, we have created a collections called users. Is it visible now? But do we have any document now? No, right? What we can do, we will try to create one more. Can you see here insert document? Here we'll try to add underscore ID. Let me keep it as 1. Then let's say full name, sample. Age will be, let's say 30. Okay. Is it done? No. So we'll refresh the page. I mean, refresh the query, it will come. So I'll try to remove this one and try to keep it simple for now. Can you see how many documents are there? Hey, only one document, 3 attributes are there. So now we'll add one more document. So better I'll do one thing. I'll copy, insert the document, then paste it. I'll adjust it to this also too. Better I'll do one thing. I'll keep it as 20. Then I'll edit the first document, 1 sample 1, and this will be, let's say 10. Then third document will copy. See why we wanted to keep it so that we can easily, whenever we know that we have kept the ID 2, name as 2, age is 20, 3, 30, something like that. So that if you keep now, when you're practicing the query, it will be even more easier because you know how many documents are returning. Correct? Huh? Let's say insert document, paste it, adjust it to 330. Done? We'll add a couple of documents. Is it hard now? All right. Anyway, we are doing it in the UI now, so no problem for you. I think it's supposed to be 4, right? 4. Then this will be 50. Okay, done. Now, in if you are doing it in SQL, what we will be doing, we will use select star from table name. Then again, we will pass the where conditions, correct? Underscore ID equal to something. The same way here, because it's a more of like a look like a JSON, no? But here we will call it as document. It's not a JSON, it is a document, but still it look like a JSON. But here, because document, it supports object ID. Let's say if I'm not passing any ID now, it will create an object ID. If I'm not passing this ID, let me keep this one as 6. Let's say this one is 60. Right now, I have not passed underscore ID, no? Mongo DB will create an object ID for us. Okay, but JSON does not support object ID or date time format, but MongoDB does that. Okay, so this will be the unique ID. But if you're passing underscore ID manually, then what it does? It will take that ID and then it will try to do that. So we'll delete this one for now. Now, so if you notice here, there are 2 parameters that we can do. For each document, how many attributes are there or how many items are there or sub items are there? 3 property values are there, correct? Now, first we will try to query, let's say 3 underscore ID 3. Okay, very simple. This is the first part. So this we can call it as selection. Okay, we can pass a second parameter. What are the columns that we want to display? Let's say if I want only full name, what I'll do, I'll put full name :1. Whenever I do that, it returns only the full name, but underscore ID will come by default too. Okay, va? Let's say if I don't want underscore id, what I'll do, I'll try to underscore id 0. If I pass 0 now, what will happen? Underscore id also will not come. So this we can call it as projection. You have put star no in select. Instead of star, if you put specific fields, let's say select age, comma, full name, comma, something. So the same way here, we are passing as a second argument, second parameter. But here, sorry, second argument, this will be the first argument. First argument will be the selection. First argument will be the selection, second argument will be the projections. When you say projection, what are the things that we wanted to project to the user? Yeah, so the column has to be returned or the fields has to be returned. Okay, now we got an idea. 1 and 0. 1 is to include, 0 is to exclude. Like if you whenever you specifically say 1, then what it happens? It will display. Then I think most of the time, except underscore id 0, you cannot give combination of, one is full name is 0. I mean, full name is 1 and age is 0. Then other field is 1. Then you cannot give it like that. Only underscore id we can have the combinations. But if any other fields required, then what you can do? Or what you can do ulta. Let's say if I want to keep it as 0, and then I'll keep the age is 0. But all other fields will come other than 0. Yeah, because here full name. Correct? If I not include that underscore id also will come all the time. Understood? Now you got a point. Now we'll leave about this second part. So we'll be focusing more on a first part. Okay. Now what we can do will there also there'll be comparisons, right? Age is more than this one, age is less than this one, some sort of things. Correct? Now let me add this one. If age dollar greater than or equal to greater than, let me keep it as greater than 10. Now what are the numbers will come when I run this query? Except the first item, it should come. Correct? Yes. Because we know that for all other documents, it's more than 0. Only the first documents, exactly 10. Correct? But here we are not including the 10. Right? See, why we wanted to keep the sample data is very, very, authentic way, so that you don't want to memorize everything. Because now how you are saying that the 2, 3, 4, 5 documents are coming, because we have organized whenever we are inserting a document, we are not putting just like a b c d x y z. See, any actual data can be like look like a dump data, that is not a problem, but any testing data should be in a proper organized way, so that you can easily, when without even seeing the sample data, what you can say, okay, these are the 4 document has to come, these are the 2 document has to come, this is the only document has to come, something like that. What you can do, you can easily say, let's say if I want to add one more thing, e greater than or equal to. Correct? So now how many document has to come? 5. Now if I put less than or equal to, how many data has to come? 1, no? Because that age 10 is there. Correct? Now can I do the same thing if let's say if I want to add one more condition? Now let's say greater than 10, but less than, let's say 40, 20 or something, 30, something like that. But there is a problem. Let's say if you want to put age again, in object, can we have the same keys 2 times? Either it will override the first one or it will not work. Correct? Now this is where we have some other commands like and or will come. Okay, ba? We have put command, no? Try that. It will not work, right? No, see, there they might have some certain patterns. Based on that, what we can do, it has to check. It has to check the fields. Correct? So what they have done, they are. I think we can try. Maybe I don't know. Let me try. If it is works good only, no. Done, huh? Oh, sorry. Okay, working only. Good to go. So now what we can do? Can we add less than or equal to? Can we add that? We can add, right? So what are the other things? Let's say here we can also include, let's say full name is supposed to be 3. Can we include that? Full name 3. Now how many data has to come? Only 1. Correct? Good to go? Yeah. So now you got an idea, no? Like let's say if you want to apply a filter, what you can do? You can have to pass the first argument as the selection, and then you can pass the conditions. Okay, well, it's straightforward. Key followed by the value. So let's say this one, which is equivalent to this line, which is equivalent to dollar eq this one. Okay, well, which is also the same dot equal to, but you can also do it with the simple colon and then value. Understood? Maybe let's say anything end with 3. Let's say instead of this one, we can also pass the regexp format slash dot star some sort of things. Okay, well, this also will does the same job. What it does when you say dot star, anything start with 3. Yeah, understood? No, just for there is some other possibility that whenever we have a requirement. Okay, well, let's say you are having a product page and there is a search box. Now and below in next to that you have a drop down. Let's say some category. Example, this age range picker. Now what you have done, you have selected the greater than 10. I mean the range picker. Starting point you kept it as a 10, and I mean the ending point kept it as 30. But next to that you have a search option. Now they are typing 3, and then you have to click on search. Now it will come to the server, and then you have to build a command like this. No, but in Mongo DB they are not recommend to use regexp. Instead of that, they have something called text search and full text search, something like that they have. Okay, but for learning purpose, I'm trying to say, like whenever you have a product and then you have multiple combinations, correct? In a filter, range filter, etc, etc. Okay, now how do we insert? So now this is for a filtering part, correct? So can we now, for now I'll try to keep it empty so that it will return all the data. Understood? See, whenever we have a complex array, you try to bring it to the new line and try to arrange it so that it will be easier for you to read. If it is very minimalistic data, you can try to keep it in one line. But if you have more than 1 hour line, then what you can do? Better arrange it in an indentation format wherever you have. Okay, good to go. So now what we can do, we'll try to insert. We'll go here and then do the insert one. Correct? Now insert one requires what? We need to supply the document. So initially what we have done, we have directly used the UI to insert the job, correct? Now we will try to insert it with the help of command. So first one will be underscore id. What is the number that we have to do? Number int 6. Then will be next will be full name, that will be sample 6. Then age, number int of 60. I'll tell you why number in 60. If not, what will happen? It will insert as a double. Okay. Now it's inserted and returns the ID. Whatever the ID that you have typed now, it will come. So if you go back here and then run the command, it will come. Good to go. Now I'll remove the number here and then try to see. Now 70. Then I'll change this into 7. Let it be 7 here and this will be 70. Okay, sample 6. Anyway, we want to delete the document, so or we have to edit the document. So that's okay. Updated returns the inserted ID. Now if we go back and refresh it, can you see here? If you're not adding a number int, what will happen? It will come, it will insert as a double. This is a problem with the Robo 3D, but normally, so because we are using this tool, what we have to do? We have to know. So I'll try to remove this one and then Save it so that it will not have any other issue. That is one way. For now, better I'll do one thing. I'll put it back 0. Okay. Now is it a wrong? This one is wrong right now, right? Now we want to update. We'll try to use the update one for now. So let me take this one. We'll comment this. See, now whenever you say update, now you have to pass something. What document has to update, right? Now it means that we have to select something, then we have to do the update. Yes or no? So the first argument will be selecting part here. What is a select? What is a selection ID here? Underscore ID on. No, we should never ever depend on uh, any internal value. I mean the user data, because user data will keep on change. But underscore ID only the one will be one created by us. Correct? By done by us. Okay. So now we know that that is 7. Now we have to tell that what type of action we have to do. Okay. Let's say there is something called set. Now here better we'll remove these things because we don't want to do any of these things, right? Set. Correct? Number int of done. Now you have a question. Why do we need to use $set? The same way, now you are adding one field and there could be a possibility of removing one field. So set unset is there. And sometimes you wanted to add it to the array. Then there is something called push, add to, set, something like that. There are few other possibility. That is why they are trying to keep the data type as object, because whenever we keep it as object, so now we have a more flexibility to what data that we are passing. Yes or no? If you are keeping any other data type, can you do the manipulations? No. Let's say if you're keeping an array, lot of restrictions are there. If you keep string, no possibility. Boolean, no possibility. Any other data type will not support. So only the possibility we have is object. Okay, with the help of object, what we can do? We can do so many things. Like, can we add one more thing? Let's say here, let me add data birth. 10 bar 2020, something like that. Okay. Now, if I run it, what will happen? Can you see what is an error? Because we have to separate, no? Correct? Now what is another error? Because we have not changed the update query. It says that it is a duplicate error. Can you see that? Duplicate key error. M01 uses dot index underscore id. Duplicate id. Underscore id is already exist. Why? Because we are using update insert one. We are supposed to change it to update. Okay, understood? Yeah. So under how many counts are matched? One is matched, one is modified. We go back and then try to see. Can you see here? Now we also updated to the DOB. But in other data, will not have a DOB. Only we have three property, but here we will have the 4 property. Understood? So far so good. Now this is a query. Now whatever we are running here in terms of JavaScript, because Robo3D, with the help of JavaScript, they are trying to run the command. But in our case, we are trying to keep it in our Python. For Python, what we have to do? We have to install the PyMongo. So shall we go and install the PyMongo? PyMongo. Okay. Now we'll go to Python documentation. So go to the respective documentation so that we need not to worry much. What we can do? Python 3m install blah blah blah. So before that, what we can do? We can stop the server, backend server, not the frontend server. Okay. Ensure that what has been activated. Virtual environment has to be activated, right? Let me. Where is that virtual environment? Okay, this one. Now done. Done now. PyMongo is installing. Okay, so now it's installed. So how do we get all the packages that are installed to the requirement.txt? Done now. Now if you go back to the requirement.txt and then check now, PyMongo is installed. Good to go. Oh, so now we'll come back. Then we'll go to the same way. We'll try to go for a next step tutorial. Import PyMongo. Okay, can we do that? Do you know where to? Right now I'm trying to close all the JSX files. So I'll try to keep only 2 files. Okay, so that what we will not have to worry. The front end part we need not to worry now. Okay, right now I'm in app.py and then try to import. Can I import now? Yes. Next that after what they're saying from PyMongo, Mongo client. Correct? So I think better I'll instead of PyMongo, I'll try to keep it as Mongo client directly. Good to go. Then after that, this one you have heard just now, right? Client Mongo DB :// localhost. That is what you have done. So except Mongo DB :// you have already localhost 27017. Now can we take that? Yes, we can take that whether you like it or not. Okay, we'll take that. And then we'll try to print it. And then now we will come back with the simple root API. Okay, now I have not started the server. What we have to do? We have to start the server. Okay, server is started. Now we'll come back and then try to send a request. Yes. Can you see here? Something is connected. Client is printed. Okay, it means that something is working fine. Okay, now shall we connect to the database? There are 2 ways. One is dot notation, another one is square notation. See, somehow whatever you guys learned so far, no, we have to recall. We have to try to connect the dots. Okay, somewhere we saw dot, somewhere we saw square bracket. Based on what you can do, you can try to relate and then just go ahead further. Okay, we'll take this one for now. So we know the client variable, right? Just now we have created a client variable. Now what is the database name that we have kept? That is M01, correct? So here what we will do? M01. So now can we try to print here? Yes, but okay, we'll try to see. Now what is the next step that we want to do? Now we have a DB. From the DB, what we can do? We can try to access the collection. Yes or no? So now we have a DB. Now what is the collection we have? Users. Correct? Shall we print now? You got an idea? See, from client we are trying to connect the DB. From the DB we are trying to collect the collection. Okay, now if we'll try to run, if everything's working fine, it means that DB is running perfectly fine. DB is connected. Python is also in PyMongo also installs perfectly fine. Good to go. Okay, so checkpoints. Seems like working fine. Yeah. So client is done. Seems like I have not saved. No saved, right? Okay. Now let me see. Run it. Okay. Seems like only client is printed, right? Okay. Maybe what is the problem? Either it might not be, the detection might not be changed. Yes or no? Maybe we might have to pass debug. Oh. Okay, now if I come back and then try to run it, so it's running working fine. So can you see client is printed, DB is printed, and also collection is printed. It means so far so good. Okay, good to go. Any queries here? Okay, so now what we are gonna do, we will try to go for, and this is a simple post. We don't want to insert because already we have inserted. So correct? Can we just find a query, or will iterate and then print? Let me. I think here we have no. Yeah. Can you see here? Post dot find one. Can we do the find one? Post dot find one and to try to do that? Yes. So we'll come back and then we'll try to minimize a little bit. Is it visible for you? Or shall I zoom it a little bit? So for item in MD, that is here collection is, I'll try to take this one so that I don't want to keep it as different variables. And I will try to clean up all the things. db.users.find. So there we have used find only. No, this is how we have used. So this is a normal for loop in Python. Normal for loop. Yes or no? Now what we can do, we'll try to print the item. Done? Got an idea? Now if we go back and then try to print it, okay, seems like working. We have successfully done the connection part. Okay, see, now what we are gonna do, because now we have initialized everything, correct? So now it means that this is the one line to take care of the job. So for now, I'll try to keep it outside. So let it connect by default. Okay, now I'll come back here, where here we have items. Yes or no? Now, assuming that we have something called to do for item in, that is DB, correct? Better I'll try to change the variable name, MDB, so that Mongo DB, so that it will be easier for you to remember. MDB dot, let's say to do's dot find. Do we have any data like this? No, correct? We do not have any collection name called. Do we have any collection name called to do's? We have only one collection that we have created users, correct? But we do not have any to do's, correct? So what I'm trying to do, I see instead of printing here, what I'm gonna do, I'll try to append. I mean append. In if you are using the same thing in front end, you have to use push. Here, what you have to use? You have to use append. It's a Python way of adding item to the list is append. Item start append of item. Done. That's it. Now if I go and run the front end, no, there is no post will exist. Correct? Technically, let's say let me go here and then check. Is it any data are coming? No. So what I'm gonna do, the same way, can we do the insert here? Whenever we call this one, I'll leave it here. Whenever we call a post function, okay. Whenever we call a post function, what we can do? We can try to insert. Okay, insert. For that, what we can pass. But here there is a one bad idea that we are doing. What is that? We should not. We should do the validation and then we have to store. For now, we are not validating, but later what we will do? We will add the validations. For now, I'll try to insert directly. Okay, here I will go. Now I'll pass the ID. What is the ID that we wanted to pass? Let's say what is the maximum number? Okay, for the first item, we will try to pass 1. Okay, ID 1. So now shall I call the API? Now what it does, it will insert and then return the data. Understood? Let me run it. What is coming here? Insert method on collection object is failing because no such a method exists. So it means that there is no such a method. So it means that there might be a possibility of the command is not correct. So what we have to do? I think insert 1. Maybe insert underscore 1. Okay, in Python we have to use insert underscore 1. Okay, now we'll come back here and then try to run it. So working fine. If we go back to here and then try to refresh the collection, can you see there are 2 collections are came? Kudos came. Now if I trying to pass, let's say if I can check it here. No, I need not to go to the database now. If I change it to 2 and then try to insert one more content, run it, data are saved. Now if I call this one, 2 data are come. Done. Our job is done. The only thing, if I change it to 3, then 3, if I add it to 3, what will happen? If I check the to-do list API, 3 data will come. If I go to the front end, how many data will come? Is this data coming from the front end or hard-coded data? It's coming from the database. Let me go and add directly here. Okay, copy, insert document, 4, say 4 is added. Now if I go here and now try to check whether refresh is working fine or not. Done? Done. That's it. See, login also same. Let's say when you are having a login, username, password. Now you will go to the backend. There you can able to extract the username and password. And then what you will do? Let's say here, here you are taking the data, no? The same way, here, can you able to pass the query? Username, colon, something, whatever coming from the front end. Then can I do the filter? Simple filter we can do, right? Yes or no? Once you filter, then you can tell them that okay, this user is exist or not exist, access denied, so and so. Understood? Can you guys try now?